Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session created for a client that would quite often feel anxious or dread or reluctant acceptance if they were on their own for a few days. And partly that was down to originally them thinking that something dangerous or bad could happen, home invasion, burglar, something like that. But in more recent times, the anxiety was coming from this idea of anticipatory anxiety because they were anxious so often when they were on their own. There was this feeling of inevitability that they would just be anxious again, and they didn't want that feeling, without realizing that it was the anticipation of anxiety that was causing the very anxiety that they didn't want. And I see these paradoxes all the time in anxiety, but also in other emotions as well. Sometimes you look for the very thing that you want to avoid, but by looking for it, it creates the very emotion that you don't want to have. And that's not uncommon. So I use the analogy in this hypnosis session of if emotions are created, then they have a recipe. And if they have a recipe, you can almost say that's the sequence that things happen. And then what's the ingredients? Well, the ingredient to anxiety is to anticipate something undesirable happening, and everyone has a structure that they do for that. Sometimes it's inner dialogue, sometimes they imagine themselves in a very situation as if it's happening in the present where something undesirable is happening, and that is a classic ingredient for a self-fulfilling prophecy. But they have proven that they are very good at anticipating a future. They're just very good at anticipating an undesirable future. So this uses that analogy to say, well, if you're really good at baking a cake, why don't we bake a different cake? Why, instead of baking a cake of anxiety, we bake a cake of positive anticipation that can create excitement or intrigue or optimism, more useful, resourceful emotions. And they hadn't considered that time on their own could actually be a gift, an opportunity for self-care and reflection, and to pursue interesting hobbies or to reconnect with old friends. And that's really the frame of this. So although it was created for someone that had real anxiety at the idea of being alone, this, I think, as a hypnosis session would be beneficial for anyone to start thinking of a more desirable future for themselves under any circumstances. Clearly, it was created for an individual, and therefore not all the suggestions may be relevant for you. But if you are interested in something more bespoke or individual, you can click the link in the show notes that will enable you to schedule a free consultation call to explore working with me. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, feel the wonderful release or any stress, worries, or tension. Just feel it melting away and leaving your body in your outward breath. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And almost feel like a yawn sensation as you breathe out, giving you a sense of drowsy, cozy relaxation. Breathing in that resourceful feeling and exhaling any low levels of anxiety wherever they may be. Breathing in and breathing out, I want you to get a sense that there is work that needs to be done to feel any emotion. If you were to think of the most pleasurable moment you've ever had in your life, your mind might take you back to a memory. And maybe you imagine that memory like you're in your own body. And you could get to a point of feeling good just by thinking of something that made you feel good in the past. It still requires a thought. But a thought can create a feeling. And that feeling tends to release things like oxytocin or endorphins or serotonin. So you can feel real things that affect your biology, physiology, just with a thought. And maybe you can think of something that makes you feel full of gratitude. Maybe it's a person, or maybe something in your life that you truly value. But when you think of that thing, the gratitude can be real. And for many people, they feel gratitude in their heart or somewhere close by. So think of that thing that makes you feel so grateful. Imagine it's right there next to you. And adjust your breathing to breathe as if you would. If you were feeling a hybrid of joy and gratitude at exactly the same time. Take that feeling and imagine that you're on a beautiful paradise beach looking out at a sea with gentle breaking waves. I want you to imagine that any anxiety in your body is just like crystals of ice infused into your muscle tissue. And while you're on that beach, just imagine the blue skies and the sunshine. That you can feel the warmth of that sun on your skin, and it's just melting away any remaining anxiety. Imagine there is a chair, a hammock, a cabana, something comfortable that you could relax on that beach. And just imagine you're making yourself comfortable as you drift off, still hearing the gentle breaking of the waves. As you start to accept the suggestion that emotions aren't things that happen to you, emotions are things that you make and create. Each emotion has a recipe, and you can't make the recipe for an emotion without the right ingredients. So as you breathe in and breathe out, I wonder what ingredients are necessary to feel anxiety or dread. And I have a feeling that one of those ingredients is to think about the future, and in particular, a future that is undesirable in some way. And if your unconscious agrees, let me know by nodding your head. And I wonder what would happen if you kept the same recipe but changed the ingredients. if you know how to make a certain cake and you change the ingredient, you might still make a cake but with a different flavor. And I want you to consider yourself a master chef of anticipating a future, irrespective of whether or not that future happens. And what if the vital ingredient of something undesirable happening is replaced with something desirable happening? If your unconscious mind believes that you could make that same cake just changing one ingredient, let me know by nodding your head. In fact, you could be the best cake maker. But instead of creating a cake of anxiety, you could create a cake of excitement, of curiosity, of intrigue, of wonderful anticipation. So continue to breathe in and breathe out there, feeling comfortable on that beach. As you start to believe that on those occasions that you spend time home alone, that it becomes a precious gift, a genuine opportunity to rejuvenate and rediscover yourself. Start to feel the excitement build as you realize that this time is solely for you. Time to indulge in your desires and passions. Consider your home, your personal sanctuary, and just imagine the energy of self-care filling you with warmth and comfort. And maybe you can imagine yourself meditating in a serene space in your home, each breath bringing clarity and peace, allowing your mind to explore endless possibilities. Or maybe you can imagine seeing yourself journaling your thoughts and ideas, each word flowing effortlessly, capturing your dreams and aspirations. Or maybe you could imagine seeing yourself immersed in a captivating book or movie. Observe as you see yourself experiencing the thrill of new worlds and stories, enriching your mind or just giving you a portal to pleasurable escapism. Imagine the joy of exploring your guilty pleasures, things that not everyone enjoys but you enjoy, savoring every moment without judgment or restraint. And imagine being in that place, feeling a sense of freedom, liberation, that you are indulging in the gift of time just for you. And maybe you can feel or even smell the calming presence of scented candles, their gentle glow and soothing aroma, creating a haven of relaxation. Or maybe arranging to reconnect with old friends, maybe over voice or video, their voices or faces bringing comfort and joy. Imagine laughing about shared experiences of the past, reigniting those cherished memories. And whenever echoes of anxious thoughts arise, just know that this is autopilot trying to take you into a direction you no longer want to go. Consider that road closed as you U-turn to the new route that is empowering and positive for you. because you can counter any anxious thought with positive alternatives, focusing on the good, the possible, and the enjoyable. As you understand intuitively now that anxiety and dread are just creations of the mind, and you hold the power to change the ingredients, transforming them into calm and confidence, as you feel the excitement of dedicating time, energy, and emotions to yourself, knowing and believing that you deserve this gift of self-care. Imagine the freedom and empowerment of prioritizing your needs, giving yourself permission to be the center of your world. And maybe, once you get good at baking this cake of positive anticipation, you start to believe that every moment alone is a chance to nurture your body, mind, and soul, filling you with strength and positivity. Start to feel your focus guiding your energy towards what you desire most, creating a magnetic pull towards your goals and dreams and your aspirational future. And I wonder how good it would feel to feel the satisfaction of knowing that your time alone is spent on activities that make you feel alive and fulfilled. As you embrace solitude as an opportunity to grow, learn, and evolve to become the best version of yourself. Your home is a strong, secure fortress. So when you embrace solitude, it's an opportunity to grow and discover yourself. Feel the joy of living in the present moment, savoring each experience and letting go of worries about the future. Embrace the belief that where your focus goes, your energy flows, guiding you towards a life where you focus on what you do want, not what you don't. The more you do it, the better you get. As you acknowledge that you only have to bake this positive cake of enjoyment, pleasure, and self-care once for a house of cards to come crumbling down, or a painful stone to be removed from a shoe with no desire to ever put it back again. If your unconscious mind is now anticipating a desirable, positive future where any yeah buts are just filled with doubt, and you have a sense that the future not could be, but will be positive, particularly your time on your own, let me know by nodding your head. And with that in mind, find yourself teleporting back from the beach into your present moment as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect fully with the present moment as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.